Hi everybody, welcome to the Winsome Travels channel. I know it's been a while, I've been off a good amount of time, but I'm finally back. I recently took a vacation that took a lot out of me. I feel like there's some vacations that I would usually need a vacation after them, and this was one of those. But I'm finally here, so that's a good thing. In this video, I'm going to review my recent cruise through the Caribbean with the Regal Princess. I'll be reviewing the cruise based on several factors, including ports of call, onboard amenities, and customer service, among other things. Stick to the end of the video to see if this cruise matches what you're looking for in a cruise vacation. Just to offer some background, Regal Princess is operated by Princess Cruise, which is a cruise line owned by Carnival Corporation. The ship debuted in 2014 and is one of the newer vessels in the Princess Cruises fleet. It accommodates over 3,500 passengers and features a crew of approximately 1,300, providing personalized service to guests. Although owned by the same company, Princess is considered an upscale option when compared to Carnival. I'll speak more to the ambience of the cruise later in this video. Our cruise lasted for 7 days, and the plan was to go to 3 different ports. So we started in Galveston, Texas, then went to Cozumel, Mexico, then next was Belize City, and the last place was Roatan Island in Honduras before coming back to Galveston. But as we know, if you've gone on a lot of cruises, sometimes some of these cruises don't go as planned. I'll cover more about the ups and downs of this cruise later in the video, but I'll also delve more into the activities that are available in each of these ports. As soon as you've gotten into the ship, it's a total change of environment. If you haven't been to the Galveston port, you would think like it's clean, it's pretty like the one in Miami, Orlando, but this is different. It's a little bit raggedy, and it's not really that pretty. But as soon as you leave it behind, you go past security, get your medallion and get into the ship. You can tell that the ship is well maintained, it's clean, and you're welcomed by a crew of friendly people. You get a hand towels to wipe your hands, some hand sanitizer, scan your medallion, and you're ready to start the party. When you're getting in, the entrance is not as grand as I expected, honestly. For my first cruise, the entrance was grand and overwhelming in a good way, but here it was a little bit different. But don't be deceived though. This cruise has really clean and comfortable cabin. The size is just right enough. We got the deluxe, the one with the balcony, and it was amazing. It was the right size for a cruise, that is. There were amenities. We had a little fridge in there just to put in our cold drinks and all that. Our cabin cleaning guy would always come make our bed twice a day. And it just felt comfortable. The place was always clean, and that's something that we weren't worried about. One thing that I also appreciated about the ship is the public areas. You can tell that the ship was really designed in a way to ensure that you're getting the most out of it. They have an adult section, then they have a premium section, where you have to pay extra money to access. The adult section, it was always booked, so make sure you go in there early. There was also this exclusive section that I hear you have to pay a fee for it. So that's also something else to consider. There were 2 main pools, one for public access, then that had some jacuzzis that you can stay in one of the evenings if it's a little bit chilly before you get off into the Caribbean waters. And then there was another, the adult section also had a pool, so that was also amazing to just have a place where you can go if you don't want to deal with kids and all that noise that comes with them. The fitness center is big enough. I didn't expect it to be that big, but it was big enough to work out in there. It gets pretty packed in the morning, but if you go way early or later in the day, you should be good to go. And for someone who likes running, I really appreciated that they had a running track at the top of the ship. You can go for morning or evening run and just watch the sunset or sunrise, or just go for a walk if running is not your thing. They had a mini golf section, a basketball section. They just had a sports area up there, which is really good, especially if you're looking for something else to do that's not just getting entertainment or lifting weights. I think this was amazing. So when it comes to the ship experience, Regal Princess outdid itself. Next, I'm going to talk about the dining experience. Now, the dining experience on this cruise is dependent on your package. So if you have the basic package, then you would have to pay, I think it's almost $40 a person to eat at any of the restaurants. So you would have to pay like you're really going to a restaurant because it's not included in your package. But if you have the plus package, you're able to go into some of the specialty restaurants. But then if you have the plus package, there are two restaurants that are top tier for this cruise, that is. There are two top tier restaurants and you can go into those two without paying. So yeah, just check that out when you're booking your package and consider what type of places you would like to eat in. But for everyone, there's the buffet. And this is my favorite part because really, I feel like at the buffet, you can eat whatever you want. It's like the world is your oyster. You have a variety. And what I liked about this cruise is the international section. You know, being someone who appreciates ethnic food, they had a good selection. They had chapati for those who like chapati or naan or like different types of bread. And they had like really good curries, different stew, like if you like chicken curry or beef or lamb curry. They just had a variety of food and I just felt like they had the food that I like. Of course, if you like the pizza, the pasta, the meatballs, they also had that. So they have everything for everyone. And the buffet was always clean. There was someone who was always coming back to clean and make sure that each table looked good. People were friendly. The staff would like get you what you want. For example, if you want drinks, coffee in the morning, they were always there to help you, which I really appreciated. It's not like they were working for you to give them something, but they were just there in case you needed them, which was really good. And something else that I appreciated is that they considered like dietary needs of some people. So they had like in the pastry section, they had like a gluten-free section for those who are gluten-free. So I thought that was a little bit special. And hey, just to give you a tip, if you're out late in the cruise and you want, a special type of snack before bed, I realized that if you go to the buffet, they actually had late night desserts. And those desserts were good. You wouldn't see them during the day, but at night if you go there, they would be making like fresh dessert. As you can see in this picture, like there was one night that we went and we got like crepes and you could choose whatever condiments to add onto the crepe. And it was a good surprise for sure. So yeah, definitely they're really on top of their game with like the dining experience. We tried two restaurants. I mean, if you have the buffet, honestly, I feel like it's so hard to try out these restaurants. But we tried two of them and the food was good. But what I generally found is that sometimes like some of the food that they serve in the restaurants are actually in the buffet. So you're not missing out a lot if you don't go to the restaurants. But it's just good to try one or two of them. I mentioned earlier that they have a great gym. They have an amazing outdoor sports section. But what I didn't mention is that there are also other onboard activities and entertainment that you can participate in. They have this middle section, they call it the piazza section, and there were always live performances. There were always people, singing or dancing, and you can tell that the people who are performing there enjoyed what they do, which is a good thing. And they're there to entertain you, and they understood that, and they sang like some really popular songs. In addition to, the entertainment at the piazza, there's also like different theaters where you can go for like movies or magic shows. And those were really amazing. And they brought on some really good comedians. I had a good time. I went to like 3 comedian shows and they were amazing. I had a good time. Another thing that I participated in was I learned I know what bachata is. I dance bachata, I dance salsa, but it was just nice to go there with my husband, have a good time, learn a few dance moves. And for a minute, it felt like I wasn't on a cruise. It felt like I was on a retreat, especially with this dance sessions, with this live music and different workshops and activities. One thing also that we participated in, maybe you want to do this, is the egg drop challenge. So basically, it's kind of that testing how creative you are. You are tasked with creating a mechanism that would drop an egg from the second floor without it breaking. This was one of the. This was a good thing. It just, it gives you something different to do during the cruise, rather than just sitting and watching movies or like just drinking and getting bored the whole day. But yeah, that was amazing. It was really good that they had that, and I felt like I wasn't struggling for entertainment because there was always something to do. Now, remember that I mentioned that we had plans to stop at 3 ports of call. The first one was Cozumel, Mexico. I haven't been to Cozumel, Mexico, and I was excited. I was ecstatic to know that we were going to stop there, and I was ready to see Mexico again. If you haven't watched my previous Mexico video. I'll put it here, or hopefully it's suggested by the algorithm. But anyway, I was excited. But unfortunately, due to the weather and the effects that it would have on the ship if we docked, we didn't make that stop. So we spent the whole day at sea. That means that the ship went slowly until it got to the next destination when it was supposed to. All right, so the next stop was Belize City in Belize. And the plan was to go and explore the Mayan ruins. But honestly, with the way things were going, things were just running a little bit late. And we had the whole day to explore Belize City. But honestly, there wasn't enough time to just like get something to take us to the Mayan ruins and like explore it and run back. If you're trying to go to this cruise, I would advise you to book this excursion early in advance for the maybe even with the cruise itself, so that you're guaranteed like you arrive on time. Because honestly, if you book with a third party, I'm not sure if you'll make it to your cruise. And if you book it with a cruise, if they don't make this stop, then you'll be refunded. That's what happened for Cozumel. Like people are refunded if they didn't get to go to the excursions. So for Belize City, we just walked around the city to get a feel of it. I heard that Belize is beautiful. Like it has a diversity of like nature, birds, plants, all this stuff. And I was looking forward to that. But the only way you can see that is getting into the country, of which we didn't have a lot of time, honestly. And I guess that's the downside of a cruise. Like you don't get to fully experience a place. So we walked around Belize City most of the time. People are really friendly. Of course, it's a developing country. So it was, there was a lot, the city was just not pleasant enough. And don't fall into these traps. If you're trying to get a history of the city, just make sure that you find a tour guide who's more involved with the place and who knows a lot about the history. Because we got a tour guide and this guy didn't know anything. He'd just show us like things that we could read. He'd be like, oh, this is this hospital. Oh, that's that hotel. Oh, this is a rich neighborhood. And we're like, yeah, dude, we can see that. Tell us more. What's the history behind this city? What happened here? What cultures exist in the city? But yeah, I was disappointed. I mean, it's just like getting an Uber throughout the city. So that wasn't good at all. So if you're trying to like get a deep dive into the history and the culture of the place, just maybe go online and read some reviews early in advance and find someone who knows more about the place. Because you'll be ripped off without knowing. So the next place was Honduras. We stopped on Roatan Island, of course, at one of the sections that's owned by these cruises. That's Carnival and Princess. So there's this place that they developed. Apparently, I think they just developed for the purposes of the cruise passengers. Because you can tell it's well developed, well maintained. There are a lot of bars. Then it's a small beach section. I mean, enough for a lot of people, but you could tell they specifically developed it for cruise passengers. It was amazing to stay there the whole day, to relax, enjoy nature, enjoy the beach, especially given that we had missed on Cozumel. But you don't get to dive into the country. There are a lot of beaches on that island, but it would take like a 30-minute drive to get there. And I didn't want to just spend all that time like trying to look for a good beach. So Mahogany Bay Beach did it for us. But honestly, this is also another place where I felt like I didn't get to know more of the country. And it's one of those times when I'm like, can I really say I've been to Honduras? So, and again, this is the downside of a cruise. It's like you're getting little samples of something without diving deep into it. So Mahogany Bay is great. It was good for just having a beach day, relaxing, reading a book, getting into the water, getting some sand on my feet. And it fulfilled that purpose, just a beach day. And here, unlike in my previous cruise, on Roatan, that's for Regal Princess. They don't feed you on the beach. I mean, you can walk back to the ship, but they don't have like people waiting on you on the beach, like providing you with food and water. So that was a little bit different. I guess probably there was an agreement with the local government for them to promote the economy there. So probably you eating at the restaurants or like drinking from some of the bars will promote the economy there. That's my assumption. But anyway, I realized that there's a really good fish restaurant around there. I forgot the name, but I'll add it down here. There was a really good fish restaurant and the food looked amazing. I mean, I was super full to try it, but the fish there looked really good. I saw some people having it, and yeah, try it out if you're ever hungry while there. I've probably mentioned this a lot throughout this video, but I just wanted to emphasize how, friendly the staff was. We had like really good service. I mentioned the guy who was always coming in to clean our room, making the bed twice a day. But also throughout the ship, we found people who are really nice, like smiling, helping you. Even if you told someone, hey, someone didn't bring me this, they'd be like, okay, I'll get it for you. You would get double of something. So these people were really friendly. They wanted you to have fun, and they understood why you're here. That really made an impression on me. I just felt like these people are here to take care of me. I can trust them. And one thing that I appreciated was that you could order food or drinks to whatever you are. Of course, it would delay or like it would get messed up on a busy day. But with your medallion, they could track you wherever you're on the ship and bring you your food or your drinks to where you are, even to your room. So that was impressive. Most of the passengers on Regal Princess, they're mature. And you can tell it's older people, either they've retired or they're doing this just for fun. We met a couple that had gone on the same cruise the previous week, and they were going the second consecutive week, just because they had a good time and they got they got it for cheap. So really, you can tell that most of these people are retired and they're here to have a good time. So it's not really the party scene. Instead, it's more retired, more mature people, mostly couples, like on the dance floor, like during our dance lessons. It was mostly like couples. And it was nice just to see that. People in love or like rejuvenating their love, or like new couples, or, older people who are just trying to relax, have a good time. And yeah, that was amazing. It was definitely different than the MSC cruise. Here, it just felt like everyone was relaxed. Everyone was just trying to get a break, which was good. Even during like the comedy shows or any of the magic performances, you could tell it was like an older crowd. It was either really young kids or like older couple and a few middle-aged people. So really, this is not your cruise if you're looking for a good party. This is good if you're more settled and you're looking for a chilled cruise and you can find quality from other things than partying. You don't really get to know about safety and health measures that go on a cruise until you have someone go overboard. It was at like 5 a.m. and we had the captain come on speaker and he's like, man overboard. And that startled us. I was like, wait, what's happening? Is the ship flipping over? But apparently they had noticed that someone was in the water. And so the ship had to turn around and go for them. And you know how if it's a large ship, it's going to take a while for the whole ship to turn around, then go back. So apparently if this happens, if someone is overboard, all the ships around that area have to turn around and go back to make sure that that person who fell overboard or who's in the water is not their passenger. So that's how you know these people are serious with their safety and security. Anyway, to end the story, the person was not a passenger. It was just some people who were trying to fish. Then they saw the ship and they jumped off their boat just in case the ship hit their boat. Anyway, they made sure that they were safe, put them back on their boat. Then we continued with our journey. All this to say, it made me feel safe. It made me feel that these people are really concerned about their passengers. And if anything was to happen, they would make sure, if I ever fall into the water, God forbid, they'll make sure at least to look for me. That was good. And also, there's one thing that I didn't mention. So for the Belize top, the ship stops in the middle of the ocean. It stops almost 15 minutes boat ride from the docking area. So they would have ships. They have small boats shipping you from the cruise to the port. So, of course, during this time, they have to make sure that, safety is followed. Getting onto the ship can be rocky. So they just make sure that you're safe and that you change the means of transport safely. And now to the big money question. Is this trip worth my money? And this really depends on what type of experience you're looking for. If you're looking for a cruise where you just chill, enjoy some entertainment, have your needs catered to, by needs I mean, of course, food and entertainment, and you just relax, then this is the cruise for you. But if you're looking to go more offshore, engage in a lot of offshore activities, cultural, historical, then this might not be really for you. If you're trying to explore your port of calls more. Honestly, it's just good for, as I said before, it's good for just trying each place a little bit, especially given that your cruise might arrive late. It's hard to plan something that you would get a lot from exploring. So really, it depends what you're looking for. But if I was to choose between this cruise, the Regal Princess cruise, and MSC, I would say I had a good time on Regal Princess. Although there wasn't the big performance, it just felt like there were a lot of entertainment that catered to me. For example, I mentioned the comedy. It was amazing. The dance lesson, the egg drop challenge. So really, it was good in that sense. Like, it has different type of feel to it, and I loved it. So for me, this was, although it was more expensive than the MSC cruise, it was longer, but I think I can confidently say I got value for my money, and it was an amazing experience. Although I'm still recovering from it. But I had a good time. I'd like to hear your cruise experience, whether it's related to Regal Princess or any other ship that you've taken and you loved. Let me know. Let me know what I should consider next for my cruise. If you have any questions about Regal Princess, like this specific cruise or MSC, I'll gladly answer them. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more travel videos. All right, Rafikis, bye.